Let's talk about something that might sound completely contradictory at first: planning spontaneity in your relationship. You know that feeling when you want to be more intimate with your partner, but life keeps getting in the way? Today we're going to explore a counterintuitive but powerful solution that's helped countless couples reignite their connection without the pressure of forcing romance. Here's the thing about spontaneous intimacy. We all love the idea of it, right? Those movie-perfect moments where everything just naturally falls into place, they feel absolutely magical. It's what we all dream about in relationships. But here's the reality check. When we wait for these perfect spontaneous moments, we often end up waiting. And waiting, and waiting. Life has a funny way of filling up every available moment if we let it. Between work deadlines, family obligations, and the endless scroll of social media, modern relationships face challenges that our parents never had to deal with. The truth is, spontaneity in today's world often needs a little nudge. Let's get real about why spontaneous intimacy feels so much harder these days. Think about it. By the time you get home, you've already made hundreds of decisions at work about what to eat, what to wear, how to handle that tricky situation with your colleague. Your brain is literally tired of making choices, and that's exactly when spontaneity needs the most mental energy. Then there's the classic scenario. One partner is feeling romantic right when the other is deep in work mode or ready to crash. It's like trying to sync up two different playlists. It rarely happens by accident. We've all fallen for this one, waiting for that perfect moment when you're both well rested, the house is clean, work isn't crazy, and you're both feeling it. Spoiler alert, that perfect moment might come once in a blue moon. And let's not forget our biggest intimacy blocker, those addictive little devices we keep checking. Nothing kills a potential romantic moment quite like the endless scroll through social media, or that just one more episode trap. Let's break down what really happens when we compare these two approaches to intimacy. The difference between planned and unplanned intimacy isn't just about scheduling, it's about setting ourselves up for success versus hoping for the best. When we rely purely on chance, we're basically hoping that the stars will align, that both partners will be in the mood, energetic, and free from distractions all at the same time. It's like trying to win the lottery. You know that awkward dance, one partner hints at intimacy, while the other completely misses the signal, leading to those "was that supposed to be a moment" situations. The elephant in the room grows bigger as days pass without connection, creating this underlying pressure that makes spontaneity even harder. When spontaneous moments keep not happening, it can lead to feelings of rejection or disconnection, even when it's just bad timing to blame. Having something to look forward to actually increases desire. It's like knowing you have a vacation coming up. Your brain starts preparing for pleasure well in advance. You can actually set the mood, make sure you're well rested, and create the right environment. It's like preparing for a special date night versus grabbing fast food on the run. No more getting games or worry about rejection. Both partners know what's on the table and can mentally prepare for connection. Regular planned moments of intimacy create a foundation of security and connection, making spontaneous moments more likely to happen naturally too. Let's explore the 4 essential elements that make planned spontaneity not just possible, but actually magical. First up is what I call anchor points. These are the foundations that keep your connection steady. Think of these like relationship pit stops, regular times where you both pause to truly see each other. Maybe it's Sunday morning coffee or Thursday evening walks. Instead of rigid schedules, create flexible windows of opportunity, like keeping Saturday evenings free for connection, whatever form that takes. When you set these anchor points, treat them like important meetings, because they are. This isn't about rigid rules, but about prioritizing your connection. Next comes your variety blueprint, because predictable doesn't have to mean boring. Mix things up naturally by creating a loose rotation of different ways to connect, maybe alternate, between active dates, quiet evenings, and creative activities. Plan the skeleton but leave room for spontaneous details, like deciding you'll have a date night but choosing the specifics in the moment. Keep a shared list, digital or physical, where both partners can add ideas whenever inspiration strikes. It's like having a romance suggestion box. The third pillar is about connection rituals. the small but mighty moments that keep your bond strong. These are your daily touch points: a 6-second hug, a proper goodbye kiss, or sharing 3 highlights from your day. Dedicate time each week for deeper connection. Maybe it's a tech-free evening or a shared activity you both enjoy. Once a month, plan something special that breaks the routine. It could be as simple as breakfast in bed or as elaborate as a mystery date. Finally, we have the flexibility framework, because life happens, and rigidity is the enemy of romance. Don't schedule things back to back. Leave breathing room around your connection times for life's unexpected moments. Always have a plan B and maybe C. If dinner plans fall through, maybe it becomes a picnic in the living room. When things don't go as planned, adapt with grace. Sometimes the disrupted moments become the most memorable ones. Now, let's talk about how to actually put this into practice in a way that feels natural and exciting for your relationship. Begin with just one anchor point per week. It might feel too simple at first, but this gives you room to grow and adapt without overwhelming your schedule. Think of it like training for a marathon. You start with small runs and build up gradually. Everyone's relationship has its own natural rhythm. Maybe you're morning people, or perhaps you come alive at night. Work with your natural patterns instead of against them. Your intimacy framework should feel like a tailored suit, not a borrowed costume. Create little if-then moments in your routine. For example, if we both get home before 6 p.m., then we take a walk together. Or, if the weather is nice on Sunday, then we have breakfast on the balcony. These pre-decided triggers make spontaneity automatic. Set a monthly check-in to discuss what's working and what isn't. This isn't about criticism. It's about fine-tuning your approach together. Treat it like updating your favorite playlist, keeping the hits, removing what doesn't work, and adding new discoveries. Let's get practical about how to make this calendar system feel natural and exciting, not like another chore on your to-do list. Whether it's a shared digital calendar, a beautiful paper planner, or a private code system between you and your partner, pick something that feels natural to both of you. Some couples love using emoji codes in their regular calendar, while others prefer a separate special calendar just for connection time. Try using different colors or symbols for various types of connection, maybe blue for date nights, purple for intimate time, green for adventure activities, and yellow for quiet connection moments. This visual system makes planning feel more like creating a beautiful relationship mosaic than scheduling appointments. Instead of clinical reminders like date night 7 p.m., try playful prompts like adventure awaits or time to reconnect. These subtle nudges create anticipation rather than obligation. It's like leaving little love notes to your future selves. The magic of a good intimacy calendar is that it actually creates more space for spontaneous moments. Think of it like having a well-stocked kitchen. When you know you have regular meals planned, you're more relaxed about enjoying spontaneous snacks. Here's a game-changing perspective that's going to transform how you think about planning intimacy. The ideal balance I found after talking with countless couples and relationship experts is this magical ratio of structure and spontaneity. Let me break this down. That 80% flexible structure isn't rigid scheduling. It's creating intentional opportunities for connection. Like setting aside Sunday mornings for quality time, but not dictating exactly what that looks like. The 20% spontaneity is your completely unplanned, go-with-the-flow moments. This ratio takes the pressure off trying to make everything spontaneous, while still keeping the excitement alive. It's like having a beautiful garden. You plan and tend to it regularly, but the most magical moments are when unexpected flowers bloom in surprising places. Before we wrap up, let's talk about some common mistakes that can trip up even the most well-intentioned couples, and how to gracefully avoid them. You know how excited you get when starting a new project. That same enthusiasm might tempt you to schedule every possible moment of connection. But just like overwatering can drown a plant, too much scheduling can drown the natural flow of your relationship. Start with just 2 or 3 planned moments per week and grow from there. Here's a big one: turning your intimacy calendar into a performance review. The moment you start feeling like you're failing if you miss a scheduled connection, you're in the pressure trap. Remember, this calendar is a tool for enhancement, not a measure of your relationship's success. Think of it more like a restaurant menu. It's there to offer delicious options, not to force you to eat everything. Life happens, kids get sick, work runs late, sometimes you're just not in the right headspace. The couples who make this work best are the ones who can laugh and say, "Rain check," without guilt. Your intimacy calendar should bend like bamboo, not break like glass. Every relationship has its own rhythm, yet it's so tempting to hear about what other couples are doing and think, we should be doing that too. Whether it's your friend's date night schedule or something you read online, remember that your relationship isn't a copy-paste template. What works for others might not work for you, and that's perfectly okay. Let's turn everything we've talked about into real action, starting right now, not someday. I want you to pick just one thing from this video to implement today. Maybe it's setting up a shared calendar, or choosing your first anchor point, or even just having an open conversation with your partner about trying this approach. Remember, you don't need to revolutionize your entire relationship today. You just need to take that first step. This is your invitation to have what might be one of the most important conversations in your relationship. Share what you've learned today with your partner. Ask them what they think about planned spontaneity. Be curious about their perspective. You might be surprised by how relieved they are to have this conversation. Together, choose one regular time in your week that could become your first anchor point. Make it something simple and achievable. Maybe it's Saturday morning coffee without phones, or a Tuesday evening walk. Put it in your calendar right now, not later. Every time you follow through on a planned moment of connection, celebrate it. Share what you appreciated about that time together. This isn't just about ticking boxes. It's about building a stronger, more connected relationship, one moment at a time.